Hi everybody, it's Raina or Rhonda, whatever you want to call me. Um, how's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well and everybody's well and doesn't have COVID or anything like that. I was scared yesterday. I thought I had COVID, so I took a test. We had got those for 4 free tests, Bobby and I, and I was okay. I just was really feeling stuffy and like achy and all that stuff. I thought, oh my god, I hope I don't have that, Omicron variant or something. But anyway, I was okay. It was just like a thing. Anyway, so I hope everybody's well and you're enjoying the spring. Things are just starting to bud. And I just wanted to discuss summer. I have had little visions and things that I've been trying to put together. I've also been um, reading some of what other people are writing. Some of you have sent in little things, things that you found out that I didn't know because I don't go on very many creators' pages because they piss me off. Um, they're just too many conspiracy theories. Some are getting hacked to bits with, it's satanic rituals. They change their opinion, every day. It's like I like the factual stuff, and I like Emma, and there's a few others that I like, and there was this new person, Scott Schultz Skulls, and he actually went down to Tennessee on his the last leg of his Jeep, and he drove around. He found a local to drive him around, but he drove around and showed us the property and things around the property, and it was really neat. It was very nice of him to do that, and spend the money and do all that. That was informative. And he drove past the spot where I said up on top of Ben Hill Road. Not you go to Beach Creek out of their driveway, you make a right, and then there's another right on the upper part of Ben Hill, and that's in that corner section is where she is, where the stream is. You follow the stream down, and I saw the stream as he was riding by. It was going kind of a little fast for me to get a good look at it, but I saw that it was started there, and I was like, "That's it! That's it! That's where it is. That's follow. If somebody could follow it down there, I know they've missed her." Anyway, so I just wanted to say, okay, so I know what some of my visions meant. The vision I had, I'm going to repeat them because I know I've gone over them, but, you guys have, you know, can't always read them, and you're on other channels too. But, I saw it was strange. I was in a jail cell with Don, like, which I know would be our worst nightmare. But anyway, I was on the back wall, standing against the back wall. I'll repeat it. And Don was in an orange jumpsuit, and he was just kind of standing in the middle of the jail cell. And it was just a normal jail cell, I guess. I've never been in a jail cell, but whatever. And the jailer, I could see the jailer took me. Was watching myself being kind of like thrown in the jail cell, and the jailer said to Don, "I have something for you." And Don was like, "Oh, yeah." So Don started to come towards me, and I thought he looked really useless and like he always does, like drugged out and everything. And I said, "Oh, no, you don't." And I gave him a knee between the legs. And it seemed like my knee turned into an iron, like the kind iron your clothes with. And I could feel the strength in my knee, which I don't have. And, haven't had for a while. I could feel the strength like really get him in the knee. So I know I'm in Don's head because he's showed up in so many of my visions. And there's a fly in here, so try to avoid it. But anyway, and then I did a Steven Seagal kind of karate move, like kung fu move, into um bunk on the side of the thing, and I said, "I'm not finished with you yet," which just meant my animosity towards Don, and that I don't think it really meant anything special, but it moved into another part of the vision, which might have just been that this was the beginning of the vision, where I saw on a beach there was a wooden boat, and it was like any other fishing boat, and there was a small beach, and the boat had been pulled up on the beach, and there were fish, hundreds of fish in this net that was hanging from the boat, and they were all rainbow colors. And I thought, oh my God. I was telling you guys in the vision, when you dream about fish, it means something really fortunate. And then I remembered Don had a dream about Summer bringing a fish to his construction site, and she was like cradling the fish, and she was kissing it and hugging it, and being real sweet with it, like she was, a real sweet little thing. And she was just loving her little fish, and he was just kind of surprised. He didn't really understand the dream. So when I came out of it, I was like, huh? Like, what? So the next night or two, I had another vision, and I was standing in the dark. There was no moonlight, and I was looking like it looked like it was the same beach where the fish had been, all the shiny, beautiful fish. That meant something good, something positive, something living, something great. And we were standing there, and the fish were like, it was dark, and there was hardly any moon out. And I was standing with him in the dark, and he was there, and I was here, and I was like part of it somehow, part of what was going on. And the fish were now hanging on this clothesline, and some of them were like in half, and some were like flapping in the breeze. Like, in other words, they were useless. All these beautiful, beautiful fish were useless. They couldn't be used, they couldn't be saved, they were just swinging in the breeze. We couldn't even see, it was so dark out. And Don said, I don't think we should have done that. And he wasn't referring to the fish or anything in particular. He just said there were two parts to it. He said, I don't think we should have done that. And I said, no, you shouldn't have done that. And then there was another part, but it wasn't clear what it was. Like, he had regrets about doing what he did. Like, it had gone further than he thought it would go. It wasn't supposed to go this far. And he had regrets and said, we shouldn't have done that. So that was the end of that one. Then I saw a school bus. It wasn't a yellow school bus, but it was Summer's school bus. And she was like in kindergarten. And it was a white bus, and it was waiting to go. And there were some children getting on her age. And she had a white poster in front of her, but it didn't have anything written on it. It was ready to be written on, and she was taking it to school as a project, and she was going to work on it at school. And I wanted to take Summer with me. And he said, no. He says, she's my responsibility. The Don woe is me thing. She's my responsibility. I'll take care of it. Don't worry about anything. I'll do, me. So anyway, Summer was very upset, and he kind of tossed her on the school bus, like kind of rough. Like, he wasn't taking responsibility was the point. He was tossing her off on the school bus. In other words, he might have even been throwing her under the bus. The expression throwing her under the bus, he was throwing her in the bus. So he was dodging responsibility again. And I saw she was crying as she sat down in her seat. She was trying to be really brave. And I was like, and he was walking away, still mumbling to himself. And the next thing that happened was the genie and Mary, where Don got his rights read to him, his Miranda rights. And she was the deputy called, and she was going to press charges. That's what happened right after that. I didn't quite know what this meant, the two dreams. or visions. I call them dreams or visions. You know what I mean. And anyway, that was right before that happened. So I take the fish, the beautiful fish, and Summer's beautiful fish, as meaning life, purity, something special. And suddenly we're in the dark, and the fish are wasted. They're gone. They're just swinging, half pieces of them swinging on the line. It was like a squeaky noise that they went across. The wind just was blowing them. And he said, I don't think we should have done that. So he made a mistake, and he knew it. And he didn't know it would go this far. And that, I believe, had to do with Jeannie and Mary and the other women that he had abused. And also Summer, because Summer was holding this beautiful live fish with the most amazing colors on it. He took that from her. And he took from those other women, he took life, he took happiness, he took beauty, he took something that was living, something that was precious. He took that from them. And also about the school bus. The school bus, I believe, represented movement, because a room that's moving is a room in itself is a situation. And depending on what happens in the room is how things are going to go. But it was a bus. So it was going to move. It was getting ready to go, which is the Mary Jeannie situation and the Summer situation too. Because now CPS is involved, and they said that the deputy from Hawkins County said, or the detective, he said the CPS case from the boys is bleeding over into the Summer Wells case. So they're connected. So there is this connection, and it's like, and I also so that's what the boss meant, and that he once again denied plausibility, accountability. Again, he threw somebody under the bus or on the bus. It was basically the same thing because it was a bus. And he threw Mary under the bus, Jeannie under the bus, by saying, well, yeah, I did it, but we were just playing house. That's not normal. But he didn't admit to it. He said, yeah, we did it, but it was her fault. Like he said, I'll take responsibility, but it wasn't my fault. Again. And he threw Summer, who represented the people in the situation who were the victims, because Summer is a victim, into the bus. And the bus was going to take off, and there were tears, and I felt helpless. I was standing there, and he just kept walking away, mumbling, saying how he was going to take responsibility, but it really shouldn't have been his. He didn't, because he threw everything on the bus. He gave it to the bus. So I know that was a prediction of the Jeannie Mary situation, and that's what he did. And when I'd still like to find out what I've heard a few versions of what was found. Excuse me. What was found during that last search. Because I had visions of them finding something in that church. Very strong visions that they were going to find something. And I believe they did. And like the scanner, the police scanner that was picked up by a ham radio operator that was transferred to some creator's site, was given the information, and they played part of it, and it was like they found something. And there were a few different versions. Somebody said they found where there could have been a body, and it was unearthed and moved. And then the consensus was there was a body, but somebody moved it. And then someone said they found one of the searchers had found puppy bones. They said Summer's puppy, but they couldn't have known it was Summer's puppy. But when I first looked at the house, before I even knew about what happened to Summer, I knew it was one of them. It was either Candace or Dawn or both that killed Summer. I just knew it. She hadn't given me much information at all. It was right at the beginning. I knew he killed Summer's dog, her puppy. I just knew it. And he buried her with the dog. Because probably the dog was barking or tried to protect her. And he did this out of meanness. Because that's the kind of person he is. He's a narcissist, he's a sociopath, and he didn't really care. So if they found, like someone said, puppy bones, and also the evidence that someone had been on Earth, that would corroborate my theory, what I've gathered, that Summer was buried with her dog and then moved. I know she's in that well. I've turned it in several times. It could be it was a round well, and it was made of stone and brick. It wasn't like your square well. It could be at this point so low to the ground because it was a historic, where she showed me, it was like a historic homestead. It was an old homestead. And the bricks could have been like this far to the ground, and somebody could have covered it up. But she's there. She showed me many times that she was up there, and she was waiting. And they could have easily missed her. And that's where she landed, because I don't think he would have put her there first, because he would have had to get her up again. And if there's a rope hanging down into a well, it would be easy for searchers to find, oh, what's a rope doing hanging down in a well? Let's pull it up. So I believe he put her somewhere else first, and with the dog, and then later moved her before he went to jail. And some people are saying that he had an accomplice, but I don't think so. I don't think he trusted anybody. And I don't think he even trusted Candace. I don't even know if I don't think Candace knows where the body is. She just knows what happened. And all these visions I've been having had to do with nighttime, water, and the moon. And I did see, it's funny because Candace did do that shot of the pond when it was like moonlight and it was like at night. And it was weird, like there was some moonlight, but it wasn't much. And then I keep getting these, like the moon. And I've noticed a couple other creators have had moons on their, their pictures and their thumbnails. And it seems like there's something about the moon. And I know when she wrote on this background for me, she wrote several words, and Allison was one of them. Like they were going over what Allison said. The police have an idea what's going on. They know what Hunter told them. Hunter told him about the gun. He told her what happened that day. As Allie said, he came home intoxicated. And he might not have noticed, much of anything after that. I know he filmed that second video where they came home from the swimming hole. Candace dropped Hunter off. Everything was fine. He was intoxicated because Allie said so when he came home. And then he drove back. Candace and Summer drove back to the house with the milk and the groceries. And Candace, Grandis. And then the accident happened with Dawn and the gun. And Summer got shot. So they had to do she called Hunter for help. Like, I need to do, us to take another ride around, set her up to make look like she's alive. She was still alive, but she was in bad shape. And that's with some people say it's juice under her seatbelt, and that pictures of the milk jugs. But she is all disheveled. Her seatbelt is wrong. Her head is like in a weird position. The milk jugs look like they were just thrown on her. And there was nowhere. Hunter was in the front seat. It was his voice. Grandis was not in the car on the second run. She went in her camper and went to bed. She knows what happened, but she didn't want to know anymore. It was like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know what happened. So she so they did the second take of the video where are her arms up, and Hunter said, yeah, I no, I just was asking, and Candace said, no, 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 her arms aren't up. And there was something wrong with her. And he just took Hunter. She took Hunter home, and they exchanged Summer. Or either they kept her in the same truck, or they exchanged vehicles. That's why her trail ended at the end of the dog trail. And he took her around up Beach Creek, and then turned me to right on Ben Hill, back where the stream is, and then went down from there. I don't know in what vehicle or whatever, but that's where she says she is. And I believe her because I've always gone with what Summer said. That's, I put a couple things together myself or from what people have told me. And so anyway, Don B's been very helpful with information. Some creators are very, very helpful, and they give a lot of factual things, and some just are opinion channels, and I'm not really interested in that. Or chat rooms are kind of distracting. They don't really, But anyway, so anyway, and the moon being like a symbol of deception. It's the Laloon card, the moon card. It's deception. It's things under the surface, things being hidden, secrets, things that are meant to be buried. And I get this feeling. I told you I felt I was walking on the Wells property, and I could feel the wet earth under my feet, and it gave me a creepy feeling. And then when I saw in another vision Summer standing on top ground, and all these balloons went up in back of her, and I knew she was free. And it was like, oh, such a wonderful feeling. I have no doubt in my mind from what she's shown me that she is going to be found. And they're working on it right now. And everything the TBI do is for a reason. They haven't arrested Candace so far because they're waiting for something, for her to do something. Because they've got Dom where they want him. And I don't think he's going to give in because he's acting all crazy from his phone calls to I watch Benny Keys. Like, I'm not subscribed to any of these people, but I watch the things, and they're pretty far out. Like Bubba, he's talking to Bubba in his cell. He's in solitary, he's talking to himself there. Anyway, he feels no regret about anything. Candace, they're going to arrest her, and she's going to crack. I saw this, that she's going to just completely fall apart. She is holding herself together but she doesn't think anything's going to happen to her. She thinks she's going to move away and everything's going to be cool. Nobody's said anything to her. That's why they're leaving her alone. Because they want her to just shoot her mouth off a little more, which she's really not doing. She's just showing that she's got a problem with drugs and alcohol. She's like kind of losing it. And those boys are never going to go back there. Never. Those parents are those kids. I mean, I've read horror stories before, but those kids were in danger. And that accident with the gun was like a train wreck ready to happen with little Summer. And I'm just glad the boys are safe. And anyway, the moon thing with things unseen, it's like things are going on behind the surface. And I keep feeling the sign of Cancer. And I'm not that much into astrology, but Candace is not a Cancer. She was born in May. So, and Donna's an Aries. So I keep feeling the sign of Cancer for some reason. Or maybe it's just because I see the lune, like the moon card of the tarot, because I've been doing the tarot since I was a teenager. And it's like deceptions and things going on. And also I saw, I have a feeling I'm going to start concentrating on Rose because I've seen her car before parked at, it's not what they said. They said it was a truck stop and there was now a laundromat and everything like that. And that was where her car was. I see her car parked in front of a post office, like a rural post office, like a historic building. And even before Summer was, I knew, about the well and everything. I knew Summer was in some kind of a historic place, like where it was old, it was historic, it was, like valuable. And I see Rose's car parked in front of a post office. And I saw her the other night in a vision. She was bigger than the post office, like taller, and she was sneaking around behind it. Like she had reddish hair, and she was sneaking around behind the post office, like trying not to be seen, but she was much taller than the post office. And then I saw her on the side, like where cause she could be seen. And I got the distinct feeling that she was buried under slate or some sort of slate. It wasn't ground so much as it was slate, like sheetrock, something like that. That she was buried underneath something like that. She was deceased. And it was somewhere near a historic building and or a government building, something official. And that's where she was buried. She was buried underneath. I could feel it, like the ground was underneath, and then I could feel the slate on top, like I knew it. I just knew it. And the fact that she was sneaking around behind the building was what might have gotten her killed. Because I think from what's been said that she was meeting someone and it was supposed to be a secret because her cousin, whom she said she was meeting, did not meet with her that night. She said, no, we had no plans to meet. I don't know why she said that. She told people that because we didn't have any plans. And the sneaking around behind the building shows she was keeping a secret. And then I saw her on the side of the building where I could, see her more clearly. But then I felt the slate, and I knew she was buried under slate or some kind of sheetrock or something like that, like stone that was flattened, like some sort of I don't know how to explain it, like whatever sheetrock is. I know my husband's in construction, but it was like a material that was like slate. Anyway, she was buried under there. And it does have a connection to Summer because the same people who did to Summer did to Rose. The same person. It's all connected. And I'm going to try to connect with Rose. And so that's kind of all I have to say. And I'm just following along what's happening. A lot is happening, but we're not privy to it. And I just know there's a lot going on behind the scenes. And there's a reason why the TBI is doing what they're doing. and the custody hearing yesterday for, I think they lost custody of the children, or they signed away custody or something. And it also had to do with Don's, there's something else. There were two reasons why the grand jury. And we're hoping, obviously, that it's about Summer, that they're, because I think they have enough ample evidence to prove that. I mean, I'm not, anybody who can judge anything, but I really believe, and I know she's going to be found. I've seen her at peace. I've seen her when she's a ghost. She's taken me to the top of the hill, and I've asked to see where her remains were, and she said, "No, it's not important. I'm not there anymore." And she was a ghost. I could see through her. And other times in vision, when been, she's suffering. She needs to find peace. She wants justice. And she's pointed the finger, like I said, in court. In the front of the courtroom, I could see as clearly as day. She's pointed the finger at both of them while they're squirming in the front seat of the courtroom. And she's pointing right at them. And then she said that little sing-songy thing, innocence over guilt, guilt over innocence. Will they plead guilty to each other? And she repeated it twice. And I wrote it down. And that was what she said. Oh, and the other visions, when I saw Allison, and then I saw 5 once in the sky. Like I saw the word Allison, and I saw, and then I saw in another one, I saw the numbers 1034. I thought they might be road markers or something. And she said the 27th. And I said, the 27th? And she said, yep, 27th. So I don't know if that means this 27th. And if you add up the numbers, and then another vision was I was in an apartment building and I had keys. And I couldn't get in my door. And the landlord was kind of smirking at me like, ha, you can't get in your door. The keys had the number 103 on them, 2 keys. And I knew they weren't the right keys. And the numbers kind of all add up to 27 if you add them up, 427. So I'm just wondering if something's going to happen on April 27th. Something's going to be decided, or Candace is going to get arrested. And there are so few people actually involved in this. There are not all these people. And Josie Sue, I don't think she has anything to do with that. I just think she's a Fruit Loop, allegedly a Fruit Loop. And she's just looking for attention, and maybe she had a little back and forth with Don, whatever, and she just is a little mixed up. And the son and this person and that person, the worker who worked with Don the day before, he turned out to be inconclusive. I think Allie and the grandmother and the mother probably are the most close, but they're trying to protect Hunter too, because he knows what happened, some of what happened, and he knows about the gun. And so they said she's buried up on that property. And if anybody would know, I think they would know. And the first thing, one of the things Hunter posted after this happened, was Candace dumped her in a well. And then he deleted the text. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And and I also saw I was on a ledge, and I was like I was on a ledge, sharp ledge, and I was facing the inside, but I was on a secure landing spot. I was standing there or sitting there, kneeling. I was looking to the land, and all these children came jumping over, and they were jumping off the ledge. And Summer was one of them. And I said, "Stop, stop. What are you doing? What are you doing?" And I said, "Why are you doing this?" And I could see their feet, jumping over the ledge. And I knew it meant that I was so distraught over all the children that have died, that have been murdered by their parents, that have died. It seems like children are on all out assault anymore. And, it's like they're just, it's like the most dangerous time in the world to be a child right now. And but anyway, so I think that's all I have to say for now. I'm gonna go lie down for a little bit. Watch some news about the New York City bombing now and shooting. What else is new? But anyway, so I think that's all Summer had to say. And that's what I've surmised. So the case is moving along. If anybody has any more information about what they found on that search, I know I had other visions that they found something important. And I knew they would, because I knew they were coming, it was coming, because I had visions before it came. And they were going to find something when the leaves were brown. And it was an important clue, and it's just added to the pile. So there's going to be justice, because someone pointed out them. They were in a courtroom. The charges were read in one vision by lawyers, and people just could not believe. They were gasping like every time a charge would be read in this vision. And God was there. I saw a lighted window. I was standing behind her, as I usually am. I'm very protective of her. And she pointed out them. She led the police to them in some way. She did it. And she's been a very strong girl. She may be in spirit form, but you can still be strong, and still have feelings when you're in spirit form. And I have other things to tell you about, like spirit, when you go to you die, what happens. And I don't know what happens when you're bad and you die, but I do know what happens when you're a pretty good person when you die, and before you die, because I've seen this and I felt it among our friends that whose parents were dying, and I could feel what they were feeling. And it was beautiful. It was like they were already there, even though they were still alive. And anyway, there's lots of things I have to tell you. So I'm going to say goodbye, and I wish you all well. I hope you stay well, and thank you, the people that share with me. Your visions and things. I want to hear your comments, and I want to hear your visions if you want to share. And I appreciate you trusting me. And we're over 800 subscribers. Yay, thank you so much. I was like, I said to my husband, "Oh my God, we're over 800. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I'm so excited." And he's like, "You're kidding." And I said, "No." So anyway, I love you, and I thank you, and you all take care, and I'll be talking real soon. I won't let it go this long. It kind of gets the bipolar kind of got me this week, and I'm getting better. So anyway, I love you.